Already already live still. Hello and welcome to the Chronicle podcast. This is Samuel Lyon. It's episode 11 of this amazing section. I'm so happy for this conversation I'm about to have because this is someone that I've been willing to want to have this conversation. So this is almost 5 years in the making since the last time we had this conversation. The last time we had this one, and I looked into while preparing for this. We had a team look at okay, so how was I was even shocked. I got him for 19 minutes. I thought it would be more, and we had to review everything we had done on that session, and I'm like, shit, this is crazy, and I'm so wow this person up because the last time we had one, the hat it was very dead, like a bit small than what I have now, and I'm grateful to have someone that I'm so proud to say like, oh, he's a network for me. So joining me on Chronicle podcast for episode 12 is a socialite, an educationist, a CEO, MD of BarryCassper Properties. He's a realtor. This person I'm so proud to acting, he speaks, he's a model. Whatever you're looking for, I think he's the man for all the jobs that you're looking for. So join me once again is BarryCassper. BarryCassper, welcome to the Chronicle podcast.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting us into your office. I looked at everything leading up to this moment and I realized that this was something that I needed to do. And first of all, I wanted to flag for me and the team on to come in here to have this conversation with you. Personally, it was something that I don't know if it will happen so soon. I reached out and you're like, yeah, let's get this done. And I wanted to thank you once again for opening your doors for us here. So, by the anchors alone, I'm like, I'm like, where do I start? And it's a pageant king. That's another one I focus on. Like, it's a pageant king too, and there's a whole lot of things we need to get into. But if for the viewers and the listeners of the Chronicle podcast and Hello Media at large, and even our operators at July Network, you'd say is BarryCassper.
Well, okay, thank you very much. First of all, I want to appreciate you and your team for making out time to, come interview me and have this beautiful section. I'm really, really grateful and I'm humble at the same time. Well, that question, who is BarryCassper, is actually very fast. It can mean a lot of things in my head.
We have to because we like whatever you want to say.
Okay, so well, I'll say BarryCassper is someone who has a high vision, and why I say that is that I've not been known for just a single thing for a long time. I know from school I started with modeling, ran as the Mister of my faculty, and I also came out as a Mr. Unique Creativity in the long run. I also did media,
Yes.
I used to have what we call Unique News Empire. I know people that were in Unique from 2010 to 3 can still remember that part of me.
Yes.
We used to help students get into school, and also I had this platform where people gain contacts. I helped a lot of business.
I came in through it.
A lot of business owners mix up together, do business together, all of that. So, but as you grow, your dreams get changing. You guys looking for what you really want to do with your life. So, personally, I think I have metamorphosed from one stage to another. So, from media, I did modeling. From modeling, I later found interest in union, which is school politics.
Yes.
And I started as I think I started as director of information at my department level. I went on to hold the position as Deputy Secretary General at the faculty level, which later on I had to contest for the faculty president, that's Faculty of Business Medical Sciences, where I was elected and give our best that we can give. And not just that, we still went on to create. I was the something we call caucus chief in college. It's like a position that the faculty president holds amongst other faculty presidents in College of Medical Sciences, where we have COMSA president, that's medicine and surgery, where we have FABAMSA, which is Faculty of Basic, where we have these allied medicals, and all the medical fields, all the faculties in the medical line, you are like the head overall. So I had to like look at it, okay, why don't we just make it an association? When we had the school hike, and I was like, okay, let's make it an association. So I collaborated with other presidents, and today we have what we call College of Medical Sciences and Association, which I became the first pioneer president. So in school, I was like holding two positions at that time. Thank you. So before we left, we tried to make as much impact as we could make in the political sector in school. But when I left, I was like, oh, that's the reward now after school. What's next? So I was like, okay. I thought about real estate, something I've been looking at. I said, okay, fine, let me get into it. And why it was not more difficult for me because I already did media, so with the audience I had already, whatever I choose to do, I think I will still by the grace of God succeed. So though we are still in the starting stage, there's still a lot of work to do. But we thank God for where we are today. But for now, I'll just say BarryCassper is someone who has vision. Right now, BarryCassper is a realtor who is ready to make other people millionaires. So I think that's where we are for now.
While preparing for this, I had moments personally for me as a podcaster. I know other people have different ways they do their things.
Sure.
I know you were thinking we need to have a talk. We need to have a let's to me it's always more than like I personally want to give acknowledgement and prop up whatever you are doing. That's the goal of the Chronicle podcast. To talk to people that are doing things. That's my goal. To see how I can be of value to you. So there's no way I'm coming to come and like bullshit all of that. So but I don't want it to also be everything come out too scripted. But while I was preparing for this, I'm like, damn, he's doing everything. I came to my head like, he's in the box. It's not as if he's doing this one and he's doing something else inside the same. We have like different categories, but it's like he's in media. He's doing pageant. That's culture. He's in politics. That's with all of the offices he's able to. He's doing real estate. That's another sort of thing. He's doing. I'm like, how many hats on this one? I'm like, he's not putting himself in the box. And I the first thing that came to my mind, like, when you go to accent, is that like a thing that you always do that? Oh, and you don't always ever want to be known for? Oh, he's not because they say BarryCassper. Everyone will have a lot of things. If you meet anybody, everyone will say, like me, I knew you from the CEO of Unical Empire.
Yeah.
I knew you from the contact day. I remember the very first phone call during the pandemic. I was on a call with you. I'm like, why would you do this? Because I looked at how you obviously you remember the phone call. Because I'm like, I'm so fascinated about how you were able to. Because at that time you told me, oh, I'm trying to compile these files from Uyo, the University of Uyo. I'm coming from Benin. I'm like, how are you? Who they even give you these numbers? How are they trusting you? Like, and I remember one of those you told me like, you spent like 3 to 4 days compiling. You did not go out with like doing this, not being paid. And I remember felt like, are we going to pay for this? Because I remember when we were on the group, no information was sent yet. I had to reach out and call. I'm like, I'm not in the group. It's dormant. What's going on? And maybe it was the way I asked those questions. Now we were able to reveal them. How is I'm gonna wait? And it was one of my first one-on-one connection with technology because I'm like, you drop the files.
Yeah.
When you click on it, everything just. I'm to my phone like, how this? And I told you the one with me with my Palestine Android. I'm like, hey, for a year. And you will be shocked how that helped me when I started my podcast. That was a big help because I was able to see status up to today. There are people I'm still communicating with through those work you did. And I'm like, the next is now the pageant king. He's now from this. I'm like, and I remember when we planned to do the podcast, I was out of town and I'm like, oh shit, how am I gonna do this? I didn't even have the props and all. And if you listen, and that's what we're gonna drop the link to that episode. That's almost 5 years ago. You like I listened to it while preparing for them. I'm like, shit, this sucks. Who listened to this shit? Like, well, like I had to. I'm gonna drop that because, like, I love the fact because the questions I was asking, it was fast, but it was like I was trying to get to the point. I'm like, and even the way I do it now, it's way different. And I looked at them like it was 19 minutes. You could just hear that it was phone to phone. Because I was like, having you on WhatsApp, yes, having you on WhatsApp and telling you here, and I'm like, I would do anything to be physical with you after 5 years to be like, let's do this. And I just congratulations. 31st of March 2025, you convocated and you graduated with the BSc anatomical science.
Now you're really following me up. How did you get all those info?
And I looked at that, I'm like, yeah. Okay, so are we gonna talk about that with him? I'm like, Realtor now. Why didn't you pursue this?
Okay, why did I not pursue?
Yes, because Nigerians, we have the what I studied versus what I like. And plus, what did they give me and what I chose? So did they give this to you or you went for this yourself?
Okay. The thing is that 90% of us while in school, when you are a science student, there are courses where you just have this high interest. I used to be a senior prefect in school, and with that, more my teacher like that. Like, okay, another thing that was closest to it, I feel like anatomy is tough. Anatomy, deal with dead bodies, cadaver, all of that. So people were scared of it. I said, okay, that's the one I'll go for since it's close to medicine, and probably might rate from anatomy to medicine later on. But when I got into it, it was interesting. I enjoyed them a bit of it, but with time, I realized even the medicine, even the anatomy, I don't even think that's what I want to do. Like, I realized with time that I had passion for other things as well. So I was not bothered. I said, okay, let's just go with anatomy. It was a very beautiful experience. And now, if you ask me, I'll be like, anything I'm chasing now will be related to real estate. Anything I'm going for, like, I have a course I'm going on now, online though. It's everything related to real estate.
How were you able to do something professional course like this and still was able to parlay into so many things? I get you said you are not someone that saw yourself like, I still want to know that, like, when did you realize that, oh shit, I don't have, because I feel like you not like lose interest in things easily, but I feel like you always like a visionary, like, I'm like, okay, this is what is working right now. Real estate, I know we're getting there, but that's what's working right now.
Okay. Well, let me get your question correctly. Like,
why are you not boxing? Because I feel like you would come. Obviously, we want to know more like the family structure and all. So, and because for me, being from a very huge family, everybody wants you to be a professional. Because I always knew, like, I just like you. Everybody, oh, he's going to be a medical student. Oh, this one is very good.
So you just fixated on it.
I had interest. I'm not gonna lie. No, the medical field, none of that. But once something switched, there was a switch that came in, and at that time my mom didn't have TV and all that. The first time I saw TV, I was watching the news. Okay, fascinating, and they were reporting on everything, what the laws are doing, what the laws are doing. Wow, I think that's.
I like this one.
But we always hear. Nobody the same face when you see for NT remember now. The chaplain when they host for channel the next day to now. Who are you? All the right up and they the old takers so they can leave. So there's no way say if you do anything media, you'll be selling this on the road and God forbid. So I just didn't even know that social media would take over like nobody did. And I'm like, I'm never good. But I still had that interest at all. I remember my dad fought with me, real fights. It's like he went to the school. This boy wants to disgrace my family, which he termed it woman cause. He's like, hey, one woman cause. Now what the women they do? God forbid, it's supposed to be a lawyer or this is it. It's like he would take anything aside from this. So I'm like, how you're able to get in, but you balance yourself in different sides.
Okay. The thing is, I'm one person that I love creativity. Anything that makes me that I can just come up with something unique, I just like going for it. because I even realized while in school, even when I wanted to study medicine, when I had the interest of medicine, I was good in electrical stuff as well. All these light connections with things that I had interest in. But because everybody have said medicine, I was not thinking of engineering at all. Like so, but with time, I realized that I don't even really want that in engineering part. I it's just at bedtime I just find interest in some things and I go for it. I think it's kind of spiritual. I'll say it's spiritual because there's something about my that people don't know a lot. My native name, which is Ashinoitan. I used to put it short from Ashi.
Okay.
Look at the name, they just say Ashi. That
Yes.
name means you do things and people tend to remember. So it's more like legacy. It's not more like wherever you go, you just make impacts. That's why I always say that in any industry I find myself, I just have a way of doing it differently. So, for example, now if I decide to start selling sachet water, I bet you I'm going to make that sachet water attractive. I'm going to make that business attractive. So even the media, when I came into school, a lot of people were doing media.
Yeah.
But I just came myself, I took over the media. Like I rebranded it. I made it more professional. I like making things more professional. So that's where I think that's where creativity comes in, where you always leave a footprint in anywhere you go. And so it's kind of spiritual also. Let's say it's
Because like your name,
the native name.
Alphabet,
That's my
BarryCassper,
general
Ashi. The Ashi
it's
is
short form, but the full name of that ash is Ashinoitan. That's like a bit
okay. So the BarryCassper is like
it's my name. That's my
that's like your number one name, or
yes.
you gave that is it nickname, a character name you give yourself.
No. My name is Barry. Okay, the Casper is the nickname attached to the Barry.
I always want to get that
Yeah.
because I'm like because some of us like the lion in my Samuel Lion.
Yeah.
It's the English version of my own native
Okay, your
name
name.
from
Okay.
so I'm like because when I was like looking at doing this I'm like it would be too weird
Yeah.
for like because when I realized like my where like most of my listeners were coming from I'm like I have more listeners outside of Nigeria. I'm like I know it's fun to like want to explain it to them but I'm like intellectual property. I'm like catchy. Everybody will like it's so it will be a struggle for them.
True.
Now I was having it when you start this one. Now everybody calls me the lion more than if I even tell them my own the native name, they're like they don't even want to even hear that one again. So I was so interested in that. Whew, it's you be chill. It's a lot. I want to make sure. So I wanted to ask you on the part about you being in school because as a student, I understand obviously you graduated now. It's been almost 2 years. Um, you already disenfranchise yourself, put yourself in different ways. How much of this was like part of like is this like what you like because I would want to like the family background like are you the first child are you the second like where because I'm like where did all of this come from because you can't just wake up one morning and people your same age are not even quarter of where you are now even then I would still tell you sitting down here I'm still if the session I'm telling you about 5 years ago that was on phone to phone I would still be in awe of young Manuel because at that time you even did things. I don't know like, oh, I'm preparing to go on a reality TV show with Chase. I'm like,
you really followed a lot of things. I can't remember that I said all of this.
I had to trust me, I reached out to people on Chase. And they were like, my God, everybody had to set me up, but I'm like, okay, I don't want to make it too much. So even at that, I was still like, you were here, I was like, okay, I see where this, what you're doing. Like, where did all of this, where do you think all of this came from?
Okay, well, I would say I started reading early, so I think it has something to do with it. Even as a science student, I read a lot of books while growing up.
Catholic?
Uh,
Are you Catholic?
Not really Catholic. My dad used to be Catholic, but when we were in Abuja, we were attending Mountain on Fire. Though now I don't attend Mountain on Fire anymore.
You know, the funny thing is, the family background, religious background, tends to do a lot. That like, I guess maybe
The thing is that my dad gives you free will. You can choose your church. Right now, I attend more of Salvation Ministry and City of Impact.
What I'm trying to get was like growing up.
Okay, yeah. Okay, growing up. Okay, back to growing up. I think books had a very high impact in me because my dad reads a lot. And when I was young, I just go to school. We don't have a lot to think about as growing students. So all we know was to study,
Okay.
do well in your exams, ensure that you're impressing your teachers, your dad, you're bagging good grades in school, you just do exercise and all of that. So the things I did like extra were reading. And my dad like is a very big reader. He's someone that reads a lot. So I had loads of books. I have access. I buy books a lot. So I have access to a lot of books. So I feel like those books sharpened the way I think, sharpened my interest. So it gave me creativity because most of these things no one tells me to do them. Like no one tells me how to do them. I just find myself doing them. Some things my dad will just hear, I'm this, I'm now this, I'm now that. I don't even tell him when I'm going for these things. He just wakes up and hear them. Even when I open this company, you're like, this boy. So like I just wake up and do it. Once I'm inspired, I just feel like it's just all about your mind. I feel like when you've grown your mind for a long time, you just tend to do things the right way. So that's creativity there. So if I have to advise a younger person coming up, even as a student, reading is not for passing exams. Those ones that you are reading your books for your different courses and all of that. I read more of self-help books. They're reading books like what do they call it? Rich and Poor Dad. Started reading Attitude is Everything at that time. Started reading books. I enjoy reading the Castle books because I obviously wanted to read the message. So
I think it's that's like Evil's Bible.
I started reading Laws of Power then. I started reading How to Influence and Influence People and all those kind of books. Early. So I think books have a high impact when you're grown up. So even till now, I still read a lot. So I think reading has a way to sharpen your thinking. If this is a glass, you find a way to make the glass look better. So
So, because obviously as a university graduate that did something in the medical field, you parlayed into this, I think almost immediately.
yes.
I
It was even immediately, not
I
even almost immediately.
I saw because I saw your branch launch 3rd of September 2005. You did your partner for the interior side of things.
Okay, yeah. I started January 2025. But I started operating like after, we did convocation. Convocation
It
was
was
when-
a match.
Then I already started
Okay.
before convocation because when we did our final clearance and all of those things were around October. So that was when I started. But then I didn't know if I really want to do this. So after like 2 months in January, I decided to kickstart it officially. So it officially was 2025. So this like 1 year now.
It's a year.
Yeah, it's a year now. But if you want to go through the number, I think it's a year. 1 full year now.
Yes, I think you did that almost immediately because I would love you to tell me about this.
Okay, so because of incorporation. Okay, that's
Tell
our
us a certificate.
yes.
Like, what did this mean to? Because I think this was what like officially to be like officially you can do this.
Okay.
What did this mean to you when you finally got? Because
Okay,
I know that when you applied this
okay.
and this gets to you. Why I'm saying this because I'm sitting here almost a year out from being part of a business which I've actually eventually moved and relocated to Abuja. And I remember when we went in to file for this, and we had a lot of combination of people and everything trying to get it from a clothing brand. And when this came in, it felt like, oh, we're part of something.
Yes.
So when I saw a post you made and you put this out, I'm like, I needed to want to get in your head. I'm like, what came to mind when you finally got to say this? Because I think this was issued to you 21st of May 2025.
Yes. Okay.
So roughly,
Okay. When I got this, I was excited. One is that it shows professionalism. I didn't want to do real estate like everybody because when I came to Cross River, I realized the way they do real estate was completely different from what I think real estate should be. When I compare to what I see in Lagos and Abuja and Port Harcourt, I see the big realtors, the big real estate companies, how they operate. And you cannot call yourself a company when you are not registered.
Yes.
Right? You cannot call yourself a company. And I didn't want to operate as an entity. I don't want to operate alone. So obviously, if I want to run it as a company, then I obviously need this certification. So when it came in, I was really, really excited. And with this, I feel like even if, because one thing about real estate is that you definitely have disputes, you have issues, you have court cases in time, you have police cases, you have to expect such things. So the first thing you ask you when you go to it, once it becomes legal, or probably have an issue that takes you to the law enforcement agencies, one of the first things they will ask you is, are you registered? And if you are not registered, automatically they assume that whatever activity you are doing is fraudulent because Nigeria does not, recognize you as a person running this business. So this coming in was like, okay, with this now we are going to go.
That's amazing. and you started this. Obviously, like the way you said, the way they did the business was different. I believe this was what you were aiming for. And looking at the way like something, because there's just something about professionalism. If I see this and I see you post something, it's easier for me to want to deal with it because I'm like,
That's right.
I shall know where it is. I shall know who to go catch. You know, because we Nigerians, it's negative first.
Yes, true.
I don't know why it's that, but it's always been negative first. Recently, I pray it doesn't happen, but recently I had to get the cell phone, and there's a kid in the street that just started like, it's kind of like a middleman helping like a shop that is already doing cell phones and all that. So like he's trying to set himself up. He got his own this thing, registered his own self, and did all of those things. And I remember I got my telling, now where you go buy that thing from? They don't go get something from street, can't give you. It was like a whole lot like, why are we always going to negative? Man, this thing came from the shop. This, that like it's an affiliation.
Yeah.
So because the way collaboration has really taken place in Nigeria is something that I'm really proud of. Because I'm like, people are really seeing the need to be like, oh, like to start my own, I need to work with someone different and see where I can go from there. So we looking at your services because now we're talking about like BarryCassper real estate properties. Seeing like the things you offer, like the accommodation, the rental services, the sales of landed properties. We have property valuation. I see you do that with management. Interior design. Talk about the one in September you launched the steps apartments. You signed a deal with Nooks apartments.
Yes, you're really fully.
What was that? Because I sort of like.
Okay,
what was that about?
it was a new service apartment that I just came into town last year. So they called us and like, okay, they'd like to collaborate with us. Since we have a large audience, people are trooping into town to have where to stay. So we're able to come into an agreement and throughout, booked throughout the festive period. So it's beautiful.
Because I wanted to, because when I saw service apartments, I'm like, oh, someone that does this in a property and everything is rare. You see things that are okay, that are working in hand with that.
Yeah.
That's another. Then consultancy, real estate consultancy. We have general business merchandise, residential commercial development, sales of fairly used properties.
Yeah, we sell that.
General services. Then it got to the other services that piqued my interest. We had the automobile, car rental, the sale, and then the media services. With the advertisement and promotion, I'm like, he has parlayed back to what he did years ago. So when I saw like the media services and the advertisement and promotion, I was like interested in it. I wanted to talk to you about that. I'm like, for you to like, highlight that for me and like how can that work with you doing this, and what is like the current workings, or what are we to expect? If it's already working,
Okay.
what's going on?
For other services, we just have partners that we affiliate with. So when we have people that probably want to resell their cars, or they want to get cars, and like people sometimes just reach out to us based on I think even if you are not the one selling, if I reach out to you, you can link me up to this person. So we decided to become middlemen, because even in real estate, most of the times we act as middlemen in a lot of transactions.
Yes.
So I discovered that we can also serve a client that can buy a property of 200 million from you can equally want to sell his car, of 100 million or 50 million. You can equally still help him and sell to another person, another investor who used to buy lands or properties from you. So I thought, fine, why not have this link? So whenever need arise, but with time we're looking at making it, more bigger. But for now, it's more like partnership. Okay, you have something you want to sell, I have ones to buy.
settle matters. Oh, you like snapping on that? Why is my phone bright?